Georgia Tech, Middle Tennessee State coming up on Saturday, and Emmanuel Dieke joins us this week here at RamblinWreck.com. I want you to tell me the origin of the nickname Too Tall. Who hung it on you? Who's responsible for this Too Tall phenomenon? Because I've never heard anybody call you Emmanuel for sure. Yeah. It's either Dieke or Too Tall.
Yeah, it was actually Morgan's older brother, Cap Burnett.
Cap Burnett, who played at Georgia.
Yeah, he was our coach in high school. So my freshman year, came into the gym, tried for the football team. He seen 6'4", I was like 6'4", 170, just skinny. So first he thought I was trying out for basketball, so I want to play football. So he just looked at me, just gave me the name Too Tall, and it just stuck on there for me to then. Just everybody been calling me that. Even my principal called me Too Tall. Yeah, so that's where it started.
Is there a Dieke and a Too Tall, or is it all one the same?
That's all one.
Do we have a separate personality for Too Tall and a separate personality for Dieke?
It's all the same person. It's all the same person. It's all the same.
You said 6'4", 170 when you tried out for football. Today you are
6'7", 272.
That's 100 pounds.
Yeah, 100 pounds.
And it's been a constant growth for you.
Yeah.
Because when you got here, you weren't 270.
No, I was 215.
215. So was that the number one goal you had? Maybe getting on the field, yes, but also getting to a point where physically you were going to be able to compete?
Yeah, I say that because when I first came in, that was like the number one thing, looking at everyone, how big everyone was. So I wanted to gain the weight fast, but I wasn't putting on the right weight. I wasn't putting it on the right way. So that first semester, that first spring, I jumped up to 250, but it wasn't like good weight, it wasn't. So I had a lot of back pains and stuff like that. So after that, I had to cut down what I was eating, stop going to Woodruff and Britain all the time, and actually just check my eating habits and put on the weight the right way. So
when you started to play, I mean, you said you only started playing when you were a freshman in high school. You tried out, I guess, and you got to a point where the recruiting process and there was a lot of potential, and part of the reason you came here. Now, when you're starting to get here and you put on this weight and you want to play, we hear all the time about the off season. And in reality, your first couple of years here, it seems like the off season was probably more important than the season, right? Yeah. Why was that? Just because of what you're able to do in conditioning?
Conditioning, getting stronger, and just being on scout team. Like scout team helps you become a better player in terms of physicality, going against the first team every day. So the game kind of slows down for you, able to adjust versus you a freshman year. Everybody think they're ready coming in freshman year until you actually step out there and you realize it's not high school no more. So I think getting redshirt was probably the best thing for me. It just helped me get used to the game. So when I was actually ready, I wasn't unprepared. I was able to go out there.
It sounds like redshirting might have been a blessing, huh?
Yeah.
Because not only from the football side, I've got to imagine at least some of the other changes you get from going from high school to college too, whether it be academics, all those things, right? Mm-hmm. When you start to play, do you sense the hard work paying off that you've done in the off season? I mean, how quick is that transition?
Oh, you can feel it. You can feel it. Like just going out there and playing, you just think about all the blood, sweat, and tears you don't put into the off season, camp, just spring, just lifting, running 6 in the morning. So when you get out there, you don't want to hold nothing back. You don't put all that work in during the off season. It's time for you to go out there and show the country what you're able to do.
You guys have gotten off to an interesting start here. Yeah. What's the emotions of this been like through 4 games? Kind of interesting, huh?
Yes, interesting just the way we've lost the 2 games we have lost this in overtime. Just because we could easily be 4-0 right now, sitting on top of Coastal. So it's easy for the team just to get distracted, just hang our heads down, feel sorry for ourselves. But we still have 8 more games to go. And like Coach Johnson said, the past 4 years, the winner of the Coastal always had 2 losses, so you never know what can happen. So I think the whole thing, the whole feeling with the team right now is just everybody, just us bouncing back and just realizing it's still a long season ahead. It's still early in the season.
You're a veteran guy on this team now. Yeah. I mean, kind of starting for the first time because of guys who've moved on to graduation like Jason Peters and things like that. But you're really one of the more veteran guys on this team. Is that a different role for you than, have you thought about that role as opposed to, just being a guy on the defensive front?
I thought about it, just me being my fourth year here, graduating this semester. I thought about it, and I'm just trying to set an example for the younger kids. Not more so just talking, but just practice games, just doing the right things, so they could see what it takes to make it on this level.
Who were those guys when you were a young guy?
Who's the guys?
Who were those guys that you said, man, I want to do it like that guy?
Derek Morgan, just how he prepared for the game. Like, you could see Derek during practice, he really concentrated on his craft. Like, he really took it serious. So when it came game time, I'm not gonna say it was, let's say, easy for him. He made it look easy, but he put a lot of work into it. I say Mike, even though I came a year after he left.
Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
Just his, he was just athletic, but he was just real passionate. So I grabbed a lot of things from everyone.
You wear 93 like he does too, or he did, right?
Yeah.
Not by design though, right?
No, not by design. Coach Giff, he actually gave it to me, so I took it. Just try to make a name for myself with the number.
North Clayton's been pretty good to the Jackets.
Yeah.
You, Morgan Burnett, there have been some good players come out of there.
Yeah. We actually have two in the NFL right now starting. We have Kyle Love, the starting D tackle for the Patriots. He was a senior when I was a freshman, so we're doing pretty good.
Good to catch up with Emmanuel Dieke, and this is RamblinWreck.com.